Okay, so part of this interview is our Jester.
Yes. I saw it. Can I touch it?
Yeah, by all means. He's
To look at it.
living a more noble life now than he did before.
Was it? It says at the bottom, it's the world's strongest drink. Was it the world's strongest drink that you
It was
had?
pretty awful.
Yeah. What was in it?
I have no idea.
Everything.
Everything, yeah.
I like its face.
It's ended up in my house from a bachelor party in New Orleans, and I have no idea why I kept it. And I put him to use in a different way now.
That's a great way to use it.
Yeah. So inside of his head, we've got some questions
Okay.
that run the gamut of different kinds of things. So we'll run some of these through, see how Hannah thinks kind of on her feet.
Oh,
And we'll
gosh.
unpack some of these things
Okay.
a little bit. What is a classic movie you've still never seen but are embarrassed to admit?
The Godfather.
Me too.
You haven't
And
watched it?
You're not the only one who
Okay.
said that.
I don't really feel like I want to watch it.
Oh, that's a different part though.
But I know it has a lot of quotable lines, and it's it's one of the top 10 films of all time, and it's got more movies. It's not just the first one.
Right. Yeah, there's like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you haven't watched it?
No, I haven't. One of our
Okay.
other guests earlier this year, he said the same thing.
Yeah. So we need a Godfather viewing party.
We're
It's like
starting
a side
we're starting to
podcast.
get this, And it's funny, he and I joked about it, watching it and then doing a podcast. So now I feel like we have enough. We actually could do a really fun podcast.
Live
about,
reactions.
Yeah. Watching The Godfather. I'm watching Sopranos right now for the first time. Really slow to this one. But there's so many quotes in it where they...
Is it reference? Sopranos is based off The Godfather. Is it?
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, they're separate.
No, separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't watched The Sopranos.
Okay,
either.
well, it's very entertaining, very good.
Okay.
So find some time to watch it. But one of these characters like always is doing some quote from The Godfather. He's reenacting it, and I don't know it. It's embarrassing. So I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
Very embarrassed to be able to say that I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
You were quick to that one too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure. Gosh, I'm sure that there are others. I don't know. Yeah, I'm so bad with names. Which
Hey, that was a great one. You you were on top of it. I think we'll have to figure that out. That would be a fun kind of a mixer to be like, okay, we're gonna get drinks and we're gonna watch this movie.
Yes.
I wonder how many other designers are like, I don't even know, or even the younger ones like, I don't get it. I've never heard of it. I'll come back to this, but come back to this in my head. I had a student one time ask me when I started using After Effects.
okay.
And I was like, I was, it was, 1998 or something. And she stopped. She said, I wasn't even born. I was like, out.
Have you heard the pre-2000s be referred to as the 1900s? Like, oh, that was in the 1900s.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, kids and teens are starting to do that, and I'm just like, and I feel old.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I did it. But she just thought it was, what? It's like, okay, you can leave right now. You can leave. So, yeah, I would find it very interesting to see how many of the younger generation doesn't know that that's even a movie.
Yeah.
And a very popular classic movie.
Yeah.
All right. What's something you do that you wish you could stop?
Oh, it's something that I do that I wish I could stop. That's a good question. I did sort of do that this year. I stopped biting my nails.
Congratulations.
That's a more personal thing than a creative thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That seems like a hard one.
Yeah, I've been biting them since I think I was 3 or 4 years old. So it's 30 some years.
So what made you?
I think I was just so tired. It's really it's gross. But they were really short. I just didn't like to show my hands. I don't know. And I feel with going freelance, not even that I was in person more, but I was just also when I was in studio of kind of going into a more director role. I feel like I'm more leadery.
Yeah.
And I'm just let's look at this thing over here.
It's funny. One of my brothers was really bad about biting his nails, and I don't know if he ever stopped or if he still does and just doesn't care. But so I have a sort of a personal interest in that. Like, to me, it's a really big one to do late in life, and you have to make a conscious choice to do it.
Yeah, and this is like a really weird way that I did it, because I've done the nail polish.
It's a creative podcast, so lay it on us.
Okay.
What's your creative?
I was like digging through Reddit, because I was like, what are other people doing? Like, there's actually a subreddit about nail biting, of course. And like, yeah, I've done the like gross tasting nail polish. I don't know. I remember my mom like tried to bribe me like with money, or my grandma, somebody remember as a kid trying to bribe me not to bite them, wearing gloves, like all these things. And somebody said that they, on Reddit, they pretended that biting their nails was the equivalent of doing a really hard drug.
Okay.
So they like kind of made that in their brain that if you're biting your nails, it's like you're shooting up heroin or something. And I was like, that's weird. And I was like, but I haven't tried it.
So it was like it was a mental shift. Like, you had to sort of trick your brain into thinking it was a really bad, awful thing.
Yeah. So, and it took about 2 to 3 weeks, and then I felt
you just stopped.
Like, it just stopped. I do think a combination with like almost 30 years of doing it that I was just so kind of tired and grossed out by it.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, I love the mental gymnastics of that, and the what can I do that's creative, if essentially a creative approach to this problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a designer creative way to approach that. It's like, this is something I do and I want to stop it.
How to solve it.
So how do I do this? And like, students are there's a Reddit. Of course there is. Of course there is. There's this really nerdy board dice game that I play with a couple of buddies. Mm-hmm. And the one guy who taught us all the games has been doing it for a long, long time. And he was like, there's a Reddit group, and he goes, there's like 4 of us.
Aw, that's awesome though.
Right? Yeah. He's like, nobody's active because it's weird, but there's like 4 people.
But it's there, and if more people find the game, then more people have a place for a community, right? It's always community.
The game is called Quarriers.
Okay.
For anybody who's ever heard of it, I doubt many, but I'd never heard of it anyway. What is something that needs to be invented? It doesn't have to be profound or real.
What needs to be invented? Well, clearly spell check for Adobe. It's
twice Adobe been called out.
That's our top invention above anything else. Gosh, like on a creative level or just
in general?
Just in general. I don't know. I feel like we've invented a lot of good things.
I would agree with you. I have a hard time with that question myself. I try to think of something that's a little off the wall that
Yeah, I would love a laundry machine that also folds my clothes and puts them away.
Yes.
That would be cool.
AI robot.
Yeah, I mean, I have a robot vacuum, and it is like my favorite piece of technology ever. Like,
does it have a name?
We call it Roomba. It's not a Roomba brand, but we just call it Roomba. We originally named it Clumbo because it was clumsy. Like, it's like a knockoff brand. It's not the smartest. So yeah, anything, I feel like devices at home that just you don't have to do stuff. Right.
What was the name of the Jetsons maid?
The robot. Oh my gosh.
That's what we need.
As I was saying earlier, I'm like really bad on names. There's this robot that just was announced, and it's like it's this. Oh my gosh, sorry, I keep bumping this thing. It's this robot that will do your household chores for you. It's like $20,000 or $500 month subscription. And it is just so funny, just how it kind of like walks like this old man, and it'll like pick up your laundry and put it in. And
I don't want to touch my dishes. Like that sounds.
You wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
What things would you want if robots were like a common commodity? What would you want them to do for you?
Dust.
To dust.
Dust. I hate dusting.
Oh, yeah. And
then it gets thick, and then it gets sticky, and it's gross, and I'm embarrassed. I'm even saying that. I'm gonna cut this out. No, I'm not. But dusting. I hate to dust.
Yeah.
There's no easy way to do it. Stuff always falls down when you try to get in the cracks of small things, and it always poofs a little bit here and there. Especially when the sun comes through, you see it.
Oh, you see the little dust specks. Yeah. I kind of like the dust specks in the sun.
I do until I kind of like walk through it to go to the next day. Right? I just like coughed myself up. So dusting, that would be one if I could get a robot to do that.
Yeah.
I'd be fine. I will put the dishes away. I'll take out the trash. I'll even clean the toilet. I don't want to dust.
You don't want to dust.
No.
Love that.
Yeah. So there you go. Dusting would be the one. Let's see what else we have in here. What is your superpower?
What is my superpower? That's a good question. I don't know. I can draw. I don't know if that's not really a superpower, but some people can.
Some people can't draw at all.
Yeah.
And would consider it a wonderful superpower.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know if it's a superpower, but I feel I'm sort of decent at multitasking because I have 1,000 tabs open in my brain all the time. But I'm not sure if that's a good superpower, but I feel like I can jump from thing to thing. And there's this thing that I have, it's due today, and then I got to do this other thing. And
yeah, it's funny you say that. Our producer just asked me yesterday. She was like, how do you remember all these things? I was like, I actually don't know. She was like, 'cause I have to write them all down, which she's very smart to write them all down. I don't. But they're just there.
Yeah.
And then my wife will ask me, like, hey, do you remember? I'm like, hey, I don't. We just talked about, sorry.
Like,
but I can remember,
space.
like, every project we have, every person who's on that project, when it's due, why it's been changed or where it's at. But I can't remember, like, what we talked about or the name of her friend who's going through something hard. Like,
yeah.
She's like, I just told you. Yes, you did. And I've already forgotten. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my superpower.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I would call it, though. It's not good memory because my memory sucks in other places. So.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's like compartmental thinking or.
That's gotten me into trouble, though.
Yeah.
Compartmentalizing. It's a very man thing to do. Men just compartmentalize. So I've been told. All right, here. What's something in your field that you're tired of seeing? Now, this could be, to open this up, a practice, a habit, a belief system, a tired cliche. I think as an animator designer, this will be fascinating.
Like a style or, gosh, I'm trying to think like when scrolling through like LinkedIn or Instagram or something, when I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. I know it's like a big talk thing, but like how everyone's trying to use AI for stuff. Ooh. Just kind of like,
We're gonna probably pivot right into that in just a second. That's a fascinating topic to me. Do you remember in the 2000s, early 2000s, the 3D stroke animations were big, like shiny 3D stroke used in all kinds of things, and then it kind of went away. Well, it's back. I saw it in some ESPN stuff on the WNBA, and I was
the
like,
shiny 3D stuff is coming back. I noticed my like apps on my iPhone, they have like this little corner, like make it look like it's a 3D icon for some of them. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's really interesting to see some of that stuff coming back. I'm like, I was really good at that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's styles that I feel like I'm just like, because I feel everything has its place and time and its concept.
And it comes back around. Fashion's the same way.
Yeah,
comes back in a little bit of a different way. There's a new tool, there's a new processor.
Yeah.
Things look a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I have a thing. I call it the ratio cross, but it is expanded out of that. It's when a video has to be delivered not only in 16:9, but 9:16. And well, I guess not 1:1 anymore, but now it's 4:5. And now that like Instagram released a couple, like last month, this like super skinny banner. And my first thought was like, is this like a new ratio now I have to design
you have to account for it? Yeah.
Like that is just exhausting. I just like let's pick a universal ratio that we're all gonna look at.
It's the phone's fault. It's Apple's fault.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. It's humans' fault. We're stupid. Apple made this phone. Great. It's awesome. And then we all forgot.
You can turn it.
You can turn it because all of our TVs are turned.
I don't like to turn my phone, though, to watch stuff.
Why is
so I'm
that?
part of the problem.
But why is that, though? Why is it that it's better to hold it this way than to turn it. And hold
It's
it
because
this
it
way.
takes that moment to like, because you turn it and it's like
that split second.
lagging,
It's too long,
and I'm
isn't it?
like, or like you don't get it, or it's like locked. I have that now with YouTube all the time, where I like go to turn it and it's still stuck, and I'm like,
And not every app turns either,
right,
which is annoying. And I will agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, if everything, I don't know, or if there's like some way, some tool, some AI tool.
Yes, there actually is. There actually is. Free Pick. I don't know if you use that or seen it. Free Pick. Is it Free Pick? I think it's Free Pick. Has a tool that will take designs and it will reformat it for you.
Okay.
Which is really neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. But speaking of AI.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is your thought on AI as a...
I don't use it for my art, like for
Okay.
creating stuff. Just, I don't know. I don't want to say it feels like a purist, but I don't feel like I'm making art if I'm telling a machine to
What you are thinking.
what I'm thinking. But at the same time, I am aware that the way that I come up with a concept is, I go to Pinterest, I look at 20 things, I take from it, and I filter it through myself. So I'm like a slow AI, I guess, in a sense. But I think it's just the thought that people can make stuff with the press of a button and not going through all like the whys of things, of why we choose to pick these things. And it just feels a little not authentic.
I would agree with you on that.
So I know obviously it has its place. I do use it some for like writing because I'm not a words person. We're covering clearly in this episode. So I feel that like I use it as an assistant for that. I don't know. I always feel like I'm such a like always thinking of both sides of stuff and like just thinking about technology that's come through in the past. Like I know when 3D was a big thing, like 2D animators, or Photoshop, like each tool, has sort of come through and changed the platform of how artists are creating. I remember in college I had a like intro to drawing in Photoshop class, and we had to paint like a ping pong ball and like render it, and somebody used the circle marked key tool to make the ball, and the teacher flipped out and was like, you can't do that, you blah blah blah. But it's like, but it's a tool. So at what level, I guess the thing with AI that I don't really like is just the taking of all the information and the artist's not getting credit, or I don't know, there's like that gray area
It is a gray area, and you even touched on this, and I'll take that a step further, is do you give credit to the people on your Pinterest boards that have inspired you? Why not?
That's a good question.
There's no right or wrong answer to that question.
I don't feel
think
though
so.
that
and
I'm
not trying to crucify you for it either, because I've never given credit to anybody who's inspired me.
Yeah.
From Monet to Rembrandt, things I've seen in person, to people I've Googled or ideas that have come up on a Pinterest board.
I guess I don't, because I don't feel like I'm immediately referencing exactly what they made. So like if there was an artist that I had a distinct style and I made something that looked like their style, like I wouldn't feel comfortable creating that.
Which I get that.
And so I guess in a sense, I don't know, I guess I feel like if I look at something and I'm like, oh, I like the pose of that character, let me try out with like this color palette from this other one. So
that, to me, that's just human ingenuity and creativity at work.
Yeah.
Because we're inspired by everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the only true free thing that was the origin of inspiration was life. Like nothing is not inspired by something else.
Right.
Da Vinci was inspired to make helicopters by birds. Right. It's like there's always been some sort of inspiration. I do think where AI comes in a little bit wonky is if you tell it to make something in the style of somebody else.
That's what,
Then that's a very obvious thing. Like then it should be, I've been inspired by Monet and had AI build something in this way. Cool. Right. I think that's a very important part of it. Whether that's a dead person like Monet or a live person, there's like a Hannah, right? Like to me, those are very important things to be able to do if I'm going to go that route. But if I'm going to say, make me a dragon that looks like, and I'm going to describe it in detail, that's my imagination at work. And I'm using AI as a tool, just like I would in Photoshop, the marquee tool, because I can't draw a perfect circle, to make me a perfect circle as my starting point. So I think there's something interesting about how we pull things from our imagination into words to describe in detail something that I want to see. And then there's the iteration process of that.
I'm going through it. But if you made an image through words, would you share it and say that you drew it?
No, I would say this was my imagination brought to life. And I would just say what it was. Yeah, I use AI. Cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to pass it off as anything else.
But I think that's where like some people are starting to be like, I made this. Like I've gone to a couple of film festivals where there's like AI animated films, and it's just, I mean, I guess obviously, you're like you said, there's like prompts and creative decisions,
and we know from doing it, there's a lot of iteration.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot push a single button and have an Oscar-winning film.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I guess the other aspect of just like the computing power that these AI things use, and
that's massive.
Yeah, deteriorating on the environment and all those
right,
things.
And I don't know how we get around that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing that with everything. Everything is using power, and I don't know how we get around it. We either don't.
Or if we all we hook up electricity with these like foot bikes at our desk
everywhere we go.
And if you want to make an AI film,
just
you
power
gotta
yourself,
make the energy yourself,
and you'll lose weight.
Yeah, exercise program built in. Win-win.
That's not the worst idea. Look, we're not far from being, the WALL-E characters in their own little private
just floating on
hoverboards. You know,
it's
funny. I have a very gross disdain for the motorized bikes and scooters in the city that you go like 3 blocks. I'm like, just walk.
Oh, yeah.
Because I see that, and this is my own issue. I get it. It's my own hang up. I get it. Don't get upset at me if you use bikes, people, okay? But I see that, and I automatically like go to WALL-E. Like, how long before like we just have our own motorized cart, our phones in it, and we're just like,
yeah. Have you ridden one of those scooters before?
No.
They're terrifying. I feel you do. There's a little bit of like calories burned from fear.
My daughter has one that isn't powered. It's like you use your foot.
The foot one.
And that's terrifying enough.
Yeah.
Also because I'm big and she's not. So there's that. I don't recommend doing that. But I think the AI conversation is very fascinating. I don't think there's a single answer for it. I don't know how you police it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just tired of talking about it. I mean, it's fine. We're talking about it on the thing, but I feel like when I get on LinkedIn, that's like all people are talking about, or on social media. I don't know. I just want to make stuff and not
and look, use it as a tool. I mean, we've never used it in a final product, but we've used it in building concepts.
I've had a couple clients do that. Yeah,
and it has really helped a lot. We did something with Discovery where we were building 3D stuff, and it helped us to sell the idea through without spending the money to build it all pre-pro in 3D, which would have cost a ton. So like, that helped us to pitch the idea, which we then built all custom.
Yeah.
I think that's a great use of it as a tool. So I do think one day it will be that place where it's just another tool in the arsenal for the creative.
Yeah, I just worry the day of how much it takes away. When I my first job out of college, I did 3D animation, and we got a mocap suit towards the end of my time there, and everyone thought it was so cool because we could make the movements ourselves. But like I liked the craft of animating. I did not.
That's interesting.
So we got the mocap suit, and then I turned into a cleanup artist.
So there's because I think that. You're right. There is a lot of cleanup that goes into that after the fact.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you use it, I guess.
Yeah.
And the time-saving thing, too.
Yeah.
I don't know there's a real one answer to it all. It depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you're trying to make Pirates of the Caribbean and you got all these things that have to be skeletons moving, like, just put them all in mocap suits and mocap suits and let's go.
Yeah.
But if it's, a one person shot, like I think it gets better from the human touch.
Mm-hmm.
But also here's the other question. Is not the motion capture the human touch? Because you're actually capturing humans moving and an actor giving it a performance.
You are, but I feel as an animator, you're translating that. It's not.
You are.
It's not a one-to-one human motion. Otherwise, that's mocap. Like,
right.
I don't know, because animators still act out scenes.
They do all the time.
Yeah.
That's
so
part of it. Doing it in the mirror and recording it and then giving it life.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's where it goes to being a purist of I want to just do it myself. Robots, calm down.
Which I love that. I love it's just who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a purist and I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm more in tune with it, more in touch with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I get better results.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I also think okay, let's take that and let's combine it with the technology we have for both speed and efficiency and maximum creative human touch results.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where we should end up. If we're smart, we will. Humans aren't smart, so all right.
We shall see.
I know. All right, we'll do one more and
Okay.
we'll get you out of here.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we have. It's not a good one, maybe. Oh, this is kind of a fun one. Is there anything you believe that most of your friends do not?
Most of my friends do not.
Like you, that one closet person who thinks that Pluto should be a planet and everyone else is like, whatever.
Yes.
Nailed
Still
it.
have problems with it. Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know if I want to say that I have a lot of friends who don't believe this, but the last job I worked, we realized that the team was very split on who believed in ghosts and who didn't believe in ghosts.
Wow.
And it kind of became like when we hired somebody new after a week, we're sitting at lunch, and we're like, so ghosts,
Yes
what
or
do you
no?
think about them? What side of the table are you choosing? I'm pro ghost.
That's funny.
Yeah, what about you? Do you believe in ghosts?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No, I think there is a spiritual world,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah.
I don't think that humans, when they die, become ghosts. I think that there's already a spiritual world out there, so maybe ghosts are angels or demons.
Mm-hmm.
Call it that. So it's kind of like splitting the line there, straddling the line. I don't think humans become ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
I think spirits already exist.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So I think some serious scary stuff though too.
Yeah.
I don't mess with that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
No,
I am both always so intrigued. I'm like, ghosts are so cool. And then if you were to put me in some haunted house or thing, I would be like, I'm done.
Yeah. No, because like I said, I do think that world is real and I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
I do think there's a real power there. I'm like, nope, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I know you exist. I'm out. That's all I need,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So maybe there's a yes to the spiritual world, no to ghosts coming back to haunt their nephews kind of thing. So.
I do like to think about if I were to come back and haunt. If you get to choose one person.
Okay.
Who
would be the one person you would want to haunt?
So it would be probably one of my old coworkers who was a very ghosts don't exist.
Oh,
I'm just going to show up and be like, hey.
Remember that conversation? Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
I'm here. Look.
That's awesome. On that note, word stop. Ghosts, real or not? Comment in the section below. Comments, all that kind of stuff. Hannah, this was a lot of fun.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate
It's been
it.
super fun.
Yeah, sounds good. Until next time, guys. Bye.